All right, welcome to another episode of Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron. This is episode number 19. We're doing a few things differently this episode. Um, let me make sure I have this paused. There we go. So, first thing is, as you notice, we are starting a little bit earlier today. That's just so that hopefully our East Coast friends don't have to stay up super late. And I know there's a few people that were not able to make it in earlier episodes. We got a few people hanging out already. We got Memphis Song here. Thanks for being here. We got Alan Lassiter. Good to see you, buddy. So, this is Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron. It's a call in show. Today is, unfortunately, we did lose someone that we all were huge fan of in the cryptozoology community. And that person, of course, is Linda Godfrey. Um, I can't say enough about her. I got to meet her briefly at the Van Meter Visitor Festival, but we do want to make this. Let's make this kind of like a tribute episode. So, if you have, if you were able to meet Linda, you have any memories, definitely call in, share those. Or if you have any like dogmen or werewolf stories, call in and share those as well. But I wanted to spend a few minutes kind of talking about Linda here, about what she was all about. So I'm going to read this off of her website. After breaking the story of the Beast of Bray Road at the end of December 1991, Linda continued to work for 10 years as a reporter, columnist, and cartoonist for The Week, a county newspaper based in Delavan, Wisconsin. She won several first place national awards from the National Newspaper Association for best feature stories on major social topics. But people continue to this day to contact her with reports of strange creatures. She has canvassed Wisconsin and Michigan looking for all types of monsters as well as the strange and offbeat, from outsider artists and giant roadside statues to local cemetery lore, eccentric people in history to ghost stories and UFOs. Here's the long list of books that Linda wrote. She was quite the writer. Weird Michigan, Lake and Sea Monsters, Mythical Creatures, Monsters of Wisconsin, Real Wolfmen, American Monsters, God Johnson, which was a fiction book, The Beast of Bray Road, Monsters Among Us, I Know What I Saw, Haunted Wisconsin, The Poison Widow, which I believe is a book on the first case that she had investigated before The Beast of Bray Road, Hunting the American Werewolf, Strange Wisconsin, Werewolves, Strange Michigan, Haunted Wisconsin, and the Michigan Dogman. So if you get a chance, excuse me, if you get a chance, definitely pick up one of those books of Linda's. You can get those on Amazon. I think you can get most of them on Kindle version, all over the place. So we may have a few people call in a few minutes to share some memories of Linda, or if anyone has a Dogman story or an encounter, tonight would be a perfect time to share. And any other stories, of course, are welcome as well. So let's see. We've got hides and long grass. I've arrived. Bowing is not required. Well, I'm glad that you're here, friend. Um, good stuff. Okay, here we go. So first caller.
Call from.
Jay Bachochin.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hi, Jay.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing good. We are taking some time remembering Linda and kind of making it a Linda remembrance episode slash if anyone has any uh, werewolf or dogman stories, that's okay too. But I'm glad you called in, man.
Yeah, no, I definitely when you contacted me saying you were doing this, I'm still beside myself right
Mm,
now. I don't know if it's denial, if it's shock. Linda and I go back to 2011, which I guess doesn't seem that long in a whole
mm,
lifetime of thing. Um, I she, Linda is not only my mentor. getting into the Beast of Bray Road or Dogman and even Bigfoot. This was all prior to when I was just investigating ghosts and not looking at this. So I'm meeting Linda and, originally getting her Beast of Bray Road book. And Bray Road is literally, 15-minute drive from my house. So I can visit it often. And of course, Linda, she did change locations, but she was up in that area. So we were able to meet up, and we'd always have lunch together, up in the Whitewater area, and and just talk. You could really go out and hit the trail to do your investigation, but we really wanted to get to know each other, because just like her books, is what I do without writing, is hunting the truth, is trying to find out the truth of this. And so she really became a really good friend to me, and she has really opened the. You think about this. Linda's global,
Yeah.
and she coined the Beast of Bray Road. I mean, she put Elkhorn, Wisconsin, and these cryptids on the map globally. Linda, she is, she's very short, very soft spoken, and very articulate. You can see her on interviews and that, but just to be able to sit and talk with her on that, it just kind of still blows me away, of what she was able to teach me during during this journey. Like I said, it was not only the friendship, because everybody just knows her, kind of what you were reading off in the beginning,
right?
All the things of her credentials and her, the awards, and she was all that. But to her husband Steve, she was a loving wife, and does have kids. She was a loving mother. She's a loving grandmother, and as a matter of fact, my son Blake and her grandson Marshall became friends. And this was just all over the time. So it's, when I think of Linda, I think of Linda, the person, the woman that she was, and it is, she was the most, she'd just go out of her way. She was the most kindest woman that I've met on that aspect. I mean, you could say, we could sit here and talk about what we researched. She was the hub of Wisconsin, pretty much.
Oh, really?
Wisconsin. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, when reports would come in, when I was doing this, I wasn't trying to get to that level of what Linda is, because that's way too much for me. I just wanted what the truth is. So, when things would come in, they would actually go to Linda, and of course, Linda, being Linda, has just mounds and mounds of notes and reports, and so she would be able to either share some, or we'd investigate some, and we did that for almost 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, and it was great. My fondest memory, though, and this is the memory, it was actually in my documentary, Finding Jay.
Oh, yeah.
And she went out to shake a little sapling. I'm going to say the sapling was maybe 12 foot, small tree, fresh tree. We stepped off the path, and she thought if she shook it, that would be kind of sapling, and there was no pine cones in it. And I was telling that to Linda. As a matter of fact, she was laughing at first. This is a fond memory because she thought that it was kind of funny, like Gilligan's Island, like I was shaking a coconut tree, and a coconut fell on my head. But she didn't really know the severity of it. And afterwards, I pulled off my cap and I had a lump there, and it was not the pine cone. The pine cone weighed nothing. I mean, the only thing that we could think it possibly could have been was a rock was projected towards my head. So those are just one of the lot of different events that we have gone through. Some fun ones, some hysterical ones, some scary ones, and I don't want to take up the whole show, so I know I can just keep talking. But I did want to share that for your special tribute tonight.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for calling in, Jay.
Oh, you bet. And yes, and you have a blessed night as well. And thank you so much for doing this for Linda.
You got it. Have a good night, sir.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Apologies to the listeners. I believe we had a bit of an audio issue there, but let me know in the chat right now if you can hear me talking. Technology being the way it is, sometimes it goes in and out. But Alex, or anyone in the chat, if you can hear me talking, just say, "Hey, sounds good," or let me know, "Hey, I can't hear anything." Awesome. Thank you, BitSquatch. Thank you, Alan. Good stuff. So this is Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron, episode number 19. We are having kind of a special tribute episode for Linda Godfrey, who unfortunately passed away earlier this afternoon, and trying to remember her as best we can, give people in the community a way to remember her by sharing any memories that they had of interactions with her. We just had Jay Pachochin from Wisconsin call in, and he shared a really interesting interaction with when him and Linda were out, and they were trying to, well, pretty much shake the trees to try to get Bigfoot's attention. You can actually watch that in Jay's first documentary, Finding Jay, which is quite good. But if you have any stories, any cryptid, dogman, Bigfoot, anything weird like that, anything strange, unknown, paranormal, UFOs, aliens, you can go ahead and call on in 515-809-0165. I'm a bit under the weather, but I wanted to do something special tonight for Linda. So we'll see if we get any other callers coming on in tonight. Myself, I was able to meet, was able to meet Linda quite briefly. 2019. 2019 at the Van Meter Visitor Festival, she had a booth set up with her many books, and she was very nice to everyone that would come up to her, and that she had a lot of people waiting in line to talk to her. So definitely a very nice lady. If you think about it, she really paved the way for a lot of I think she was really one of the first females to be involved in the community the way that she is. Memphis says, "No apologies, referring sound issues. Thank you. This is just a few friends sitting around a campfire honoring Linda." I appreciate that. That's really nice of you to say. And let me get that off there. Hides in Long Grass says, "Play the Dogman song." I wish I knew the Dogman's. Oh, that Dogman song. Yeah, the Michigan one, right? I don't have that, and I think it's copyrighted too, so I might get kicked up. I might get messed up. But Everyone go check out the Dogman song on Spotify. See if you can find it. And yeah. So 1 minute. Again, for those that are just coming in right now, this is Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron. I have a call-in show that I'm going to be doing these every Sunday night. I'm going to start at 8 p.m., so it's a little earlier for the East Coasters. And if you have a strange story, something that's happened to you, you can go ahead and call on in, share that. This is live on YouTube, recorded for the podcast. Tonight we are honoring um, Linda Godfrey, who was an amazing researcher and writer in the cryptid community, best known for the Beast of Bray Road up in Wisconsin. But she also had some very interesting thoughts about Bigfoot as well and other cryptids. Do yourself a favor. Try to search for Art Bell, Linda Godfrey. There's an interview you can listen to on YouTube. It is a fantastic, Andrew, exactly. You're reading my mind. She was not on Coast. Well, okay. Let me back up. Yes, she was on Coast to Coast many times with George Norrie over the years. But if you want a real treat, find the Art Bell interview because I'm a big fan of Art Bell. I'll just say that. So let's see. We got a few comments here. Let's go through them. Andrew says, "How is Mothman viewed in the cryptid community?" That's a good question. People that are in here, go ahead, put your answers. He's viewed a few different ways. Mothman is. Some people think of him as a harbinger of doom. Some people as a creature from an alternate universe. Some people, and this is really cool, with the newer generation, it's almost like a mascot for certain communities, which is great. There's no wrong answer to that. Mothman can be whatever you want Mothman to be, which is pretty cool. Hides in the Grass says, "How many books did she write? I know of a few, but I'm sure there are more." Roughly, there's about 16. Let me run through the list real quick again. Weird Michigan, Lake and Sea Monsters, Mythical Creatures, Monsters of Wisconsin, Real Wolfman, American Monsters, God Johnson, The Beast of Bray Road, Monsters Among Us, I Know What I Saw, Haunted Wisconsin, The Poison Widow, Hunting the American Werewolf, Strange Wisconsin, Werewolves, Strange Michigan, Haunted Wisconsin, The Michigan Dogman. So she had tons of them. Mitzi, good to see you. The first paranormal book I purchased was written by her, American Monsters. That's something really special. Andrew, yes, she definitely, I believe on Coast to Coast itself, I want to say like 6 to 7 times at least. She's on it quite a bit. Mothman is a cryptid buffet. Andrew J says, "I have every Art Bell show. Must be nice." Hides in Long Grass says, "I went to Mothman Festival this year. You and 10,000 other people." And Paranormal Woodstock is, yeah, it totally is. Oh, and Mitzi says, "I think it's a winged humanoid," as the ones Long Strickler speaks about. Yeah, that's another way to look at it too. This is Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron. We are hanging out tonight until 9:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you've got any stories, feel free to call on in. If you've got any, we are remembering Linda Godfrey, individual that was quite respected in the cryptozoology community from Wisconsin. Unfortunately, she did pass away earlier today. So if you were able to meet Linda and you have a memory with her, you can go ahead and call on in 515-809-0165. Also, if you have any stories, feel free to call on in. Anything Dogman, werewolf related, Bigfoot, Mothman, anything weird that's happened to you, go right ahead. Something we can talk about is Beast of Bray Road was referenced in a lot of cool things over the years. So if you want to have more information about the story of the Beast of Bray Road and Linda Godfrey. One cool thing you can watch right off the bat is the Bray Road Beast by Small Town Monsters. It's a very good movie. Also, Jay Bachochin is in it too, who was online earlier. I believe Lost Tapes did an episode of Beast of Bray Road. I know that Monster Quest did too. You gotta love Monster Quest. So you can find that one on YouTube. Lost Tapes you can find on Discovery Plus, and let's see what was it? Tubi has Beast, a Bray Road Beast. Let's see what other comments do we have. Andrew J, is Linda Moulton Howe still alive? Okay, yeah. From what I know, Linda Moulton Howe is still doing episodes on her YouTube channel. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure she's still alive. But we are talking about Linda Godfrey tonight. Area 51 says, "Wow, she passed. Rip. Definitely rest in peace." Everyone I've talked to has nothing but great words to say about Linda, and her story is really cool because it's like, she gets in a small newspaper in the early 90s, around 91, I believe, and she's trying to take whatever she can get, and she gets a story about this werewolf type thing come across her desk, and no one wanted to touch it, and so she said, "Let's go for it." And just think that totally affected her life for the next 30 years. Literally, that was almost 30 years from her starting the Beast of Bray Road journey to, of course, 2022, right? Did I do the math there? Yes, I did. Okay, I can still do math. Also, it's you really got to look into it because, I mean, she gets talking to a local police office, a police station, and they bring her a folder. They bring her a folder that says werewolf, and it has all the werewolf sightings, all the incidents. And at that point, she knows that something is crazy going on. And the bells in her head as a journalist, I can only imagine they're going off. And she's like, there's a story here that I've got to unravel, and the rest is history. As Jay was saying, she was actually the main contact for all the weird stuff. For all the weird stuff in Wisconsin. We got a call coming in.
Call from
Chad Lewis.
to accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press.
Hi, Chad.
Hey, Jeremiah, how are you?
I'm doing great. Doing great. We're just having a good hour chatting about some memories of Linda and how much she did for the community. I was able to talk to Jay Pachochin earlier. It's a good time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So how's it going up there in Wisconsin for you, Chad?
I'm doing great. Under the circumstances, things are good here.
Good. So of course, I know that you were able to, I would assume, probably meet Linda multiple times. I know of at least one time, of course, was at the Van Meter Visitor Festival in 2019, because I remember that. But did you have multiple times you were able to meet Linda?
Yeah, I've known Linda for 20 plus years.
Oh, wow.
Back in the early days when I used to put on a conference in Eau Claire every October, and you'd get a couple speakers, and it was for the general public. We get 400 or 500 people there 20 years ago before there were paranormal conferences. And I think Linda spoke at maybe like 15 in a row. And she was always the star of our show. And yeah, so she would come up every year back when she lived in Elkhorn.
Mm.
And what was great is that, I mean, here she was, this unassuming, very soft-spoken researcher, and she would always be gracious with everybody at the conferences. But then after the conferences, a lot of us speakers, a lot of the vendors, and even a lot of the audience would go out for a nightcap.
Mm.
And so we'd all be there talking shop and what we thought of the conference and that. And poor Linda didn't get a break because people kept coming up to her even after the conference, wanting to talk to her, tell her their story. Can I get a picture with you? I love your book. On and on and on. And it always stood out to me that, you know, no matter how many times she was asked, she was always just so nice to everybody.
Mm. That's all. I remember as well. Like it was nonstop at her. There were people coming up to her literally all day long. Yeah.
I think one of the gifts Linda had was that ability for people to open up to her.
Mm.
And that's how she received so many of her stories and cases, is that people would often not want to talk to somebody and may have kept their story for decades to themselves, not trusting anyone or not thinking anyone would believe them. And then I saw it over and over and over the decades that all of a sudden Linda would start talking to somebody for a few moments and out come the story. It was that instant rapport she was able to build with people. And I think, you know, for a lot of people, they'll remember that, her kindness and her just being a genuine, nice person, even more than the great book she's done and all the research she had done. You know, I think that's what will stick out for most people.
I love that. Yeah. That's, you know, Jay said similar words, is that, you know, at the end of the day, she was a genuinely nice, honest person. And that's what counts, you know?
Yeah. And it was year round. I mean, whether she was at a conference or afterwards, where I've been in a lot where, you know, sometimes people bend about things, but that was never Linda's style, where what you saw and what you got when she was talking to you in person was exactly what you got when you weren't there.
That is very cool. When a person's, you know, when what you think of a person is what they actually are, and that's probably the biggest compliment of all. So very, very cool. Thank you for calling in, Chad.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have fun.
You too. See you in a few months.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Keep an eye out.
Yep. That was Chad Lewis. I could say famous author Chad Lewis. He's the author of the Van Meter Visitor, and if you come to the festival in Van Meter every year in September, you'll meet him. But you know, also he's written a lot of other books and did a lot of things with with Linda as well. So thank you so much, Chad, for calling in, sharing some thoughts. This is you know, it is a loss, but you know, we want this to be a celebration of what Linda did, and just um, you know, the cryptid community is such a weird thing, because it's like, as I'm getting a few years into this, what I'm noticing is, as we lose people, there's no way for us to express. Well, maybe there is. I guess you can do social media, but when you can actually like express how you feel about someone, you know, usually you can't go to like their funeral. But maybe this can be a venue where people, you know, that were close to Linda, that had some memories, they can call in, they can share a memory, and they can kind of, you know, have some closure in a way. But this is let me take the banner off there. So this is Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron. We're about halfway through the the show tonight. 1 minute. If you've got a story, feel free to call on in. You can call in, share your story, convey anything weird or out of the ordinary, anything Bigfoot, Dogman, or Mothman, or cryptid related, UFOs, aliens, all that good stuff. We are kind of doing trying to do a tribute of sorts to Linda's life. If you were fortunate enough to meet her and you had any fun memories to share, feel free to call on in. You can share those as well. 515-809-0165. I really like, so Hides and Long Grass says, I really like Zelia Edgar, who's also in Wisconsin. Zelia's book was a fun read. You know, Zelia's really nice. I met her in Van Meter one year. She's a great person. You can tell that, she's definitely, yes, she is a younger individual, but she's contributing so much to the community. So hats off to you, Zelia, if you're listening. Another fun thing is, let me check my phone real quick. If you do happen to listen to that Art Bell, Linda Godfrey episode interview on YouTube, which I recommend because it's funny. There's a really good back and forth that goes on, but they do have a really fun chat about the movie Twilight, which Linda has some fun words about how the how it's like Team Jacob and the Wolves, how that's not really super accurate. And I thought that was funny. It put a lot of a humanity spin on things. So good stuff. We got 11 people hanging out. Let me know in the chat where you're watching from tonight so I can see who's here. If you got any stories, feel free to call on in. And you can go ahead and share what you've encountered, what you experienced. Can be anything from werewolves to Dogman to anything weird in Wisconsin, to Bigfoot, anything cryptids, UFOs, aliens, stuff that's strange, unknown. Or if you were able to be fortunate enough to meet Linda, you can go ahead and call on in, share a story that you might have about a favorite memory, as tonight we are doing a tribute to the life of Linda Godfrey. For those that are new, if you're wanting to know more about Linda, she actually has a really cool blog website. Uh-oh. Oh no. Hold on. I'm back and I apologize. That was weird. My computer just freaked out. Yeah, sorry, Alan. I'm back. That was very strange, but I'm back. Computer just literally freaked out for a minute. It was probably because Mothman 46 is here now. Just kidding, buddy. It's good to see you. Linda was a trailblazer in every sense of the way. I totally agree. Let me know, guys, in the chat if you can hear me talking right now, if the audio is working, as my computer is freaking out a little bit. So this is Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron. We have about 25 minutes left. If anyone has a story they'd like to share, you can go ahead and call on in to 515-809-0165. And you can share that live on the air. I tell you, today is a weird day with technology for me. Fifebot says audio is back on YouTube. Yep, because I literally got kicked out of StreamYard and had to come back in. So I'm back. I'm back at it again. If you've got also, we are celebrating the life of Linda Godfrey today. As unfortunately, she did pass on earlier this afternoon. If you were able to meet her, if you have any memories of her you'd like to share, you can also call in. And we're having like a remembrance time as well. We were able to have Chad Lewis from Wisconsin and also Jay Pachochin from Wisconsin call in and share a few words about Linda earlier in the night. So that was very special. Thank you to those guys for calling in. Also, if you have any stories that are related to cryptids in any way, UFOs, aliens, strange stuff, paranormal, unknown, feel free to give a call on in. You can do 515-809-0165. You can call in and share your story. Of course, for those that are new, Linda Godfrey was one of the trailblazers. Back her journey with Beast of Bray Road started about 30 years ago, around 1991. She started at a small newspaper where a story of a beast, a werewolf, a dog man of some sorts came across her desk, and she was the only one that wanted to take it. So she took that story, she ran with it. She got set up with talking to a officer at a police station, and they brought out a folder that literally had the word werewolf on it and all the sightings that they had gathered over the years. And the rest is history. Linda was known for being a prolific writer, many stories, many books about Wisconsin, Michigan, dogmen, and she touched many different people around the community, being a mentor to them. Things I've seen on the things that I've seen on social this afternoon. Everyone from Josh Turner from Paranormal Roundtable to Ryan Sprague from Somewhere in the Skies. People were talking about how they could always go to her for advice, and almost like she was their mentor. So very cool stuff. Hides and Long Grass says Small Town Monsters should do a mini doc on Linda. I might recommend that you. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I recommend, if you haven't watched it yet, you should check out the Bray Road Beast. It's very cool. Linda is involved with that. She's in there. And you can find that on things like Amazon. It's also free to watch on the Tubi platform, TUBI. Another documentary you can watch is Jay Pachochin's documentary, Finding Jay. Linda is featured in that. Also, there's an old episode of Monster Quest about the Beast of Bray Road, and a young Linda is in that. You can find that on YouTube. Lost Tapes has a Beast of Bray Road episode that is on Discovery Plus. So there's all sorts of cool stuff. Oh, fair enough. I'm sure she was. Yeah. Hides in Long Grass says, I think Linda was in more than one Monster Quest episode. Would not be surprising, because she wasn't just Beast of Bray Road. She was involved with all sorts of things to do with Wisconsin. She had some very interesting thoughts to do about Bigfoot. Um, and if you want to hear more about that, you can check out the episode of Midnight in the Desert that Art Bell did with her, interviewing her about monsters of Wisconsin. I want to say it's from the year 2015. It'll be listed as 1995, but they wrote it wrong. So you'll just search for Art Bell, Linda Godfrey, um, MITD, and you should be able to find it. So we got 9 people watching tonight. We've got about 20 minutes left in the episode. This is Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron. It's a live call-in show. If you got any stories to share, you can go ahead and call on in. We've got a live audience listening. This is recorded for the podcast as well. And we are having a remembrance of Linda Godfrey. If you've got any stories regarding Linda or time memories you're able to experience with her, you can definitely share those as well. It's 515-809-0165. Earlier in the show, we were able to hear from Jay Pachochin from documentaries such as Finding Jay. He's a Bigfoot researcher up in the Kettle Moraine area of Wisconsin, where Linda was actually, she lived close by for quite a while. And we also had Chad Lewis, Wisconsin researcher and author of books such as The Van Meter Visitor, The Wendigo, many, many different books. He called in, shared some nice words and memories about Linda as well. So thank you for calling in, Chad Lewis. We've got about 18 minutes left, just hanging out before the week kicks on back in. This is Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron. Just a call-in radio show. Hold on. Okay. That was a false call. False alarm. I thought I had gotten a call, but I did not get a call. Feel free to call in if you've got stories of any type. What I was trying to do when my computer freaked out on me, I was trying to bring up Linda's website. If she had a blog, and if you want more information about Linda, you can go to lindagodfrey.com. She's got a lot of really cool stuff on here. Everything from, let's see, she had a documentary, Return to Wildcat Mountain, Wisconsin's Black Panther Nexus. Came out in around 2020. She's got a lot of different, the blog goes all the way back to 2009. So if you got some time, check out lindagodfrey.com. You can find a little bit more about Linda, celebrate her life. Check out some of her books on Amazon or any library I've been to. If I go to the cryptid section, I could literally bet every time that there's Linda Godfrey books in the section. Hands down, American Monsters is going to be in the section of that library. Patrick Vaughn is hanging out. He's saying, grabbing dinner in Lurking. Great to see you, sir. Yeah, if you've got any stories, feel free to call on in. We've got 15 minutes left. Let's see. What else do we have going on today? Oh, I don't. Did I share about this? Let me think for a second. So I got back from Crypticon on Monday. I did do a Tuesday. Okay, so I already shared about Crypticon. I will share though that I do have an upcoming event. Anyone that's listening to this on the podcast or live, make sure you mark your calendars for Monster Fest, which is coming up. Let me get the exact date on that real quick. That is June 3rd of 2023. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in beautiful Canton, Ohio. So make sure that you get your tickets for that. I will be doing Bigfoot Society Live at that event. Many different cool people going to be there. Let me bring up Small Town Monsters website real quick so I can show you. There we go. All right. Here we go. So I'm going to share real quick. If you didn't know, I already know about this. Here we go. So, Small Town Monsters, June 3rd, 2023. I wanted to show you real quick. These are the people that are going to be there, and it's fantastic. Cliff Barrickman, Justin Chernopesky for Mountain Beast Mysteries, Stan Gordon, who does not usually go to any of these, Shannon LeGros, Forrest Burgess, and Scott Philbrook from Astonishing Legends, Amy Boo, Richard Haddam from Mothman Prophecies, Jim Harold, who's a pioneer in paranormal podcasting, Lyle Blackburn, you've heard him on many STM talks, Mark Matsky is going to be Master of Ceremonies, which is really cool, Eli Watson, Alexander Petikoff, of course, our guys from Beyond the Trail, Adam Dugan, you've seen him in different things STM has done, Seth Breedlove, and yours truly, me. So, make sure if you are not already planning to go to Monster Fest, I know, Mitzi, it's huge. Astonishing Legends and Stan Gordon. I mean, Astonishing Legends, they don't go to any of the they go to like the big podcasting conferences, but from what I know, they're not going to like little or okay, it's not little, it's huge. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like compared to like conferences where it's like 50,000 people. But Monster Fest is going to be at least 60,000, so it's all good. We got about 10 minutes left in the night. We are doing a Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron. If you've got any stories to share, you still got 10 minutes to call on in. And you can share your story. It can be UFO, alien related, Bigfoot, cryptids, Mothman, anything weird, anything strange that's happened to you. Also, we are celebrating the life of Linda Godfrey tonight. So if you've got any memories about Linda, you can always call on in 515-809-0165. You can share those memories with us, everyone on the air. Let's see. Mitzi's saying, man, I could totally drive those 11 hours. Yeah, I know. If they weren't flying me out there, I wouldn't be going. It's a long trip from Iowa. But it'd be worth it. It would be worth it. Earlier in the night, if you didn't hear these yet, I did have the pleasure of talking to Chad Lewis, author from Wisconsin, researcher of cryptids, legends, lore. Also talked to Jay Pachochin, Wisconsin Bigfoot researcher from the Kettle Moraine, and who did a lot of work over the years with Linda. Actually, both gentlemen knew Linda for a extended period of years. So it's cool to talk to them. Both. Let's see. Let's play the game where I will hype something up that's on my desk. If you haven't seen Rosin the Big Man, you should check it out. It's a graphic novel about a Bigfoot that hangs out with a government agent, and it's kind of about the birth of conspiracies as well. It's got cool pictures, and I like it. So you should check it out. I met these guys at Crypticon. They were legit, really nice guys. And yeah, they're just cool dudes. And they gave me a graphic novel. So good times, great oldies. We got about 10 minutes left. Here's a book. I'll let you know what I'm reading right now. Here's one I'm reading. All Creatures Weird and Dangerous. It's about a vet that works on a chupacabra, and it's nonfiction. I'll let you know how that goes. Hike with Mike. Hey, folks. How's it going? Hike with Mike. Let's see. Oh, hey, Patrick is in at the last minute. Good to see you, Pat. We are had a lady pass away in the cryptozoology community tonight. Linda Godfrey, who's best known for the Beast of Bray Road. So we had a few people call in, talk to them earlier about memories they had of Linda. It's a celebration of life. And also, the phone lines are also open if you have any stories to share, anything Bigfoot related, Dogman, cryptid, stuff of that nature, UFOs, aliens, anything weird. Feel free to call on in. We've got about 10 minutes left. I am kind of fighting off a cold. Let me check my phone real quick. Cool. All right. I'm freezing up. Fair enough. Well, I think I'm actually going to call it a night because my computer has decided to go absolutely insane. But I appreciate you all being here. Have a great night. And my next episode of Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron will be next Sunday night. So I'm going to be doing these once a week now. As they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. So I will see you guys later. Hopefully, see you next Sunday night, 8 to 9 p.m. Have a good night.